I'm Amanda with Decor. If you're new to my channel, be sure to go down and hit that subscribe button. I do a lot of DIY and step-by-step video tutorials on home decor, and I do some craft items as well. So in today's video, we are going to be redoing these 3 windows that I have here. I actually have about 8 more in my shed that I have to redo also. But I found these on Facebook Marketplace that I was looking just for some old windows, so I searched on there and actually come across somebody locally to me that I knew that was trying to get rid of them, so I went by and picked them up. So we're going to turn these old windows into some really cute fall and winter decor items. So we're just going to clean them up, get all the old paint that's chipping and caulking around the windows off of them. So what I plan on doing with these is once I get them cleaned up, I'm going to attach, I bought 3 different fabrics from Hobby Lobby. I ordered them online, but this is one, and I got another one that's like a Christmas winter themed one, and this one I plan on putting on my white window, with the other 2 being more like fall theme. I'm probably going to do like a stained window or just leave the rustic brown wood that's already on these windows and just get them cleaned up. So this is the last one I got. So I got these 3 different fabrics, and they're pretty big, and you'll see only 2 of these windows that I'm going to use are actually big enough, I think, to fit the full image of those fabrics. So we're going to take our staple gun and we're going to attach the fabric to the back of the window along the wood. So we're going to speed this video up real quick, and I'm going to just show you how we're going to clean these windows up. So I'm just taking some regular soap and water, and I'm just going to wipe them down really good first. We have cleaned these up now. I'm going to let them dry outside. This is how they all look. And then maybe in a day or so we'll be able to finish this project and proceed with painting them or adding a little stain and sealer on them, and then stapling our fabric to the back of them. Alright y'all, so now it's been a few days. My windows are dry, so I brought them up to my craft room. So tonight we're going to finish them up. So I have my white window here, and this is the one I'm actually going to use my winter theme for. This one right here. Turn it this way so you guys can see. So you'll see if you lay it across here, it fits almost perfectly. So we're just going to cut off a little bit of this excess fabric, and we're going to tack it with our staple gun around the edges and to the wood here in the center to pull it tight. But before we get to that part, so now we're going to work on painting this and just touching it up a little bit to make it look a little nicer. So this side is actually going to be the front side of my window. The other side is the side I'm going to tack my fabric on. That side doesn't look as nice, but that's okay because that's going to be covered by our fabric. So I'm just going to touch up around it with, I have my Waverly chalk paint. Y'all know this is what I always use. And I have some Waverly wax antique that I'm probably going to wipe on here a little bit or brush on here and see how that looks with it. I'm not too sure about it, so we'll see on that part. Okay, so I have applied the antique wax to this. I've let it dry. So now we're going to try to go for that crackled paint look. And what you'll need to try this step is just Elmer's Glue. So we're just going to brush on with a paintbrush a layer of glue. Do it kind of thick. where you want this crackled effect to appear. So I'm going to do it right over the really dark areas of where my antique wax is. So this is how thick I put the glue on. Alright, so now that we have our Elmer's glue down, we're going to paint over this with the top coat of whatever color acrylic paint that you want. The coat that's already down, that antique wax color, is the color that's going to show through the cracks. So this top coat is what's going to be on top, and then that wax is going to show through. It's how it's supposed to look if it actually works. So we're going to just brush on our top coat. So try to do just one stroke so you don't blend it with the glue too much, and because if you do, it just might not work exactly how it should. So we have our Elmer's glue down. We're going to take our white paint and we're going to just do one brush stroke along, and as this glue dries and the paint dries, it should start doing that crackled paint look that we're going for. So now we have painted on our top coat on top of our glue. So now we just have to wait for that to dry, and we'll see if it does the crackled look that we're trying to make it do. So while the paint on the other window dries, I'm going to start on this next window. So for this one, I am going to keep the brown wood, and I'm going to probably just brush over this with some of the antique wax that I have. Now, instead of going through these steps with your windows, you may just choose to leave them as they are. But I just didn't, like, I'm making the other one look rustic, even though it was already pretty rustic on its own. But I didn't like the way it was naturally, so I wanted to try to add some fresh paint to it and just liven it up again. So that's what I'm doing with this one also. There's really nothing too wrong with the wood that's already, the color of the wood and how the wood already is. But I just want to liven it up a little bit and kind of deepen this brown and maybe have some of these bad spots on it. Alright y'all, so some of this has dried and it looks really good as far as the cracking, and some part of it didn't do exactly the same, but it's not completely dry yet, so we'll see how it looks at the very end. But like this edge over here looks awesome. It's really hard to get my camera to focus, but if you guys can see that, it did really good on this side. You'll see it's still wet, still looks shimmery. So this is another side. You see how it looks streaky and like it's crackling? This is still really wet, so this will probably do well also once it's completely dry. And this is the other corner. It looks super rustic on this side. So now we're going to grab our fabric, and this is the back side of the window. So we're going to be facing our image out. So we just got to lay it up here and try to see where we need to cut, how much of this we want to show. Oops. Alright, this part's a little tricky. Just making sure the whole winter scene is in there. None of this red border is showing because we're not trying to have that in that part. So you feel where your window panes are just to make sure that your image is going to be right in the window part. So before I cut this, I'm actually going to go ahead and tack it just so I don't lose how my image is sitting on here. So I want to try to tack into these frame parts. They're super skinny, so I'm not sure that we're really going to be able to do that. Let's see if I can do it. Oh, see? Yep. Now we can take our scissors. I'm going to go along here and just trim off my fabric. So now that we have all that excess trimmed off of the fabric, turn it around and see how it looks. How do y'all think it looks? And that's so cute. Alright, so now we're going to do the next one. Flip it around and see how this one looks. So here they are side by side. We have our fall and then our winter scene. I think the winter scene has to be my favorite. It's so pretty. With our crackled edges that we did. Look how cute this is, y'all. And our little pumpkin with our wood edges. So that's it for this video. Let me know what y'all think of these windows and how they turned out, and I hope you found these tips helpful as far as doing the crackled paint look. So thank y'all so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys on the next video.